Hi everyone, Alex here with Bass Toy Photo, and welcome to my channel where I talk about toy photography and anything else that relates to it. Now today I'm going to be talking about the 2022 Slambo GT Warhammer Age of Sigmar tournament. That's a mouthful. But anyway, it happened on May 21st and 22nd in San Antonio, Texas, and it was organized by the Sons of Slambo. Now this tournament brought in people from all over the US. And there was even a couple from Canada and one from Mexico, which that's amazing. Now there were several clubs represented. Of course, they had the Austin Weird Knobs. Gotta keep Austin weird. There was the Harambe's Heroes from Houston. There was the Dallas Defenders from Dallas, of course. And then you have another group called the Tough Crowd, which from what I understand there were some pretty tough players, and it's made up of a kind of a conglomerate of players from all over the US. They had Roll to Wound, there's another one, and then as I mentioned there were a couple people from Canada, which they go by Season of War. Now I gotta tell you Jordan's story because that's dedication. So Jordan flew from Toronto, Canada to Houston, right? When he gets to Houston, he finds out that his flight from Houston to San Antonio got canceled. And there was no other flight or anything he could do until the next day, which of course that's when the tournament was. Well, he ended up taking an Uber from Houston to San Antonio. That, man, I don't know how much he paid for that, but that's dedication right there, man. That's, Jordan, my respects, buddy. That's just, so anyway, so that's just a little bit of Jordan's story. There's also Hole in the Wall Hobbies. They were a local store in San Antonio, Texas, they were there, with supplies and stuff and giving some pretty good discounts to all the players. And there was one more thing. There's a little treat that I got for you guys. I was able to interview Dan Norris, who is the president of the Sons of Slambo. And so we got to talk about everything that how they came about, everything that they do. So they're not just people that play a game. They also have an impact in the community. But instead of me telling you about it, why don't I let Dan tell you all about what they do? So here it is, and I hope you enjoy it. Hey guys, I'm here at Slambo GT, and I've been invited by Sons of Slambo to come and capture everything. So. I want to treat you guys with, this is Dan Norris, who's the president of the Sons of Slambo.
Slambo!
There you go. So, I just want to talk to him a little bit and see what all this is about.
Yeah, well thanks for coming out.
No problem.
We're glad to have you.
Dan.
Yeah.
So, I want to talk first about Warhammer itself, because to all the people of us, that are new to Warhammer, all I know is just little figures, people paint them, but that's about as all I know. So, can you tell us what is Warhammer? When Age of Sigmar started?
Yeah, sure. So Warhammer has been around since the 1980s. It's a British game made by a company called Games Workshop, and Warhammer has evolved over the years to its current state, which is Warhammer Age of Sigmar. And many people don't know this, but people in the community come from all over the world sometimes to play. So we have international players here. We've got folks from Canada, New York, Florida. I think Florida is its own country, isn't it? I think we have one person from Mexico as well. So cool. We've got all of North America checked off.
Wow. So what is the difference between Warhammer and Warhammer Age of Sigmar?
So there's Warhammer 40K. In Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and so if you're into the Lord of the Rings fantasy environments, that's more Age of Sigmar. So it's knights and archers and others who are fighting desperate battles on the
more like on the fantasy side?
It's more on the fantasy side, whereas Warhammer 40K has very similar themes, but it's supposed to be 40,000 years in the future. That's why they call it 40K. Yeah, so now your elves and orcs are in space.
Wow. Cool. So then, when did Age of Sigmar start?
So that started in 2015.
Oh, so it's fairly new.
Yeah, it's fairly new. And they did a complete revision of the way the system worked.
Okay.
Matter of fact, some people had no sense of humor about it. We call it the rage of Sigmar. There was a big change in the market, but what they did is come up with some phenomenal new rules that make it more engaging, more fun, more challenging. It's easier to learn to play.
Okay.
It's easier to buy in. You don't have to buy a lot of stuff, but it's extraordinarily difficult to master, and so it just makes it so addictive.
So it's like a long time ago, I heard the story, and I don't know, maybe you heard it now, but about it was a Warhammer 40K. It was a tournament, and somebody, someone had an army of archers, right? And then I guess somebody else also had an army of archers. And supposedly the one person was about to attack, and then the guy goes, "Well, no, you can't because your bows are not strong." It's like, what? What do you mean? And so, well, the other guy's army, his bows, each one were strong, but the other guys weren't. So how is that?
That would never happen.
No, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
One of the things that you find too, especially with Warhammer Age of Sigmar, is there's a special emphasis on sportsmanship.
Okay.
And so people come for the love of the hobby, not just for the competitive element of playing the challenging game and beating your opponents. But we actually have these Slammy Awards, which are the top prizes in several categories. One is for overall, which is just how well you did in battle. Another one here is for sportsmanship. So your favorite opponent. It's really hard to get people to rate you as a favorite opponent once you're beating them. And so it's a gracious winner, and so the person who's voted as best player gets those. And then we also have one for best painted. There's also another category called Hobby Hero. So that's the person who does best in all three categories.
Oh, okay, cool. So is that like the best overall?
No, it actually isn't. So there is a system that's used worldwide that we tap into that only tracks the battle scores. So now we always do the others, but that's the one that gets reported out all over the world. Now we are members of the Texas Masters Series.
Okay.
And so Texas has 4 major clubs. So we're the Sons of Slambo, based here in San Antonio. And so we've got quite a few members. We also have the Austin Weird Knobs. We have Harambe's Heroes, which are out of Houston.
Cool.
Yeah, and they've got another group there called Grand Alliance Houston, which is kind of just a general banner.
Okay.
And then we have the Dallas Defenders.
Okay.
And so they all get together, group together, and come down. Now, those aren't the only clubs that compete, so you probably hear some of the people yelling in the background. That's called Tough Crowd.
Okay.
They're a mix of some of the top gamers in the market that we play in. They're from Canada, New York, all over.
Oh, cool.
Nashville, Tennessee.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So why don't we talk then about Sons of Slambo?
Sure.
So you're the president.
Yes.
How are they? How did they come about?
Yeah, so the origins of it are actually older than Age of Sigmar.
Okay.
There was an earlier club called SAGWA, San Antonio Games Workshop.
Okay.
And most of us are previous members. Well, I shouldn't say most of the founding members were. But after the Rage of Sigmar, we decided to rebrand. And I don't know if you remember the Sons of Anarchy.
Yes.
So we just thought it was a funny tongue-in-cheek.
Okay.
And the name Slambo is actually this model. And that model is one of the oldest models in the Games Workshop range. And so it was something that was released right after Age of Sigmar came out. And it was the older one. So if you were a newer player, you had a connection to the older players.
Oh, okay.
And so one of the things that you'll hear in the tournaments is it's become a battle cry.
Yeah.
So when we would put Slambo out and somebody would mention it, they'd go, "Is that Slambo?" And people will yell it back.
Okay.
So as a matter of fact, watch this. Slambo! What?
So when did they start?
So we rebranded in 2015, and one of the things that we decided to do was to have a gaming club that had a charitable focus to it. So we donate proceeds to raffles and any extra money we make in tournaments to Clarity Child Guidance Center. Many people don't know that 1 in 5 children in Texas struggle from mental illness, and there's a stigma around it. People don't like to talk about it, and so we want to do a couple of things. One is reduce the stigma around mental health issues with children, and raise money for this great organization that helps people, seek treatment for their children, but also have resources for the family that's involved for children from the ages of 2 to 17.
So that's pretty cool. So it's not just playing games; you're also making a difference.
Right. Our major thought is we want to make a difference in the community. We want to create long-term friendships and also have memorable gaming experiences. So that's our vision of who we are and what we do.
So how many? Do you have some more than one tournament a year?
So we have lots of local one-day tournaments, but usually we only have one grand tournament. This is a 2-day event, so it's 5 games over 2 days. And it's part of the Texas Masters Series. So, there's an event in Houston, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas, and then players who played in all 4 of those get invited to the Masters to see who the best of the best is. And so this year it's in Waco.
So when is that?
I think it's July 16th and 17th, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it'll be here soon. So normally we do our tournament in November. However, with COVID and conflict with another GT, we flipped.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so we'll have another GT this year in November, but normally it's just one. So there's a little COVID hangover.
There you go. That's pretty cool. So how many members have a vest?
So I don't know the answer to that, to be honest with you. Now we have members all over the world, surprisingly. So we actually have some members in the UK. So Nigel and Nick and all the gang, if you know, we're talking about you. We also have one in Vancouver, Canada. We've got another in Florida, and so we call them Slambassadors. And so those Slambassadors, we have everything from leather cuts like these to bowling shirts and a lot of memorabilia. So
And how does one become a member?
So you just have to ask.
Okay.
It's more about having if you've got an interest in the hobby and you're interested in helping out charities and being a fun opponent, we'll take it.
What if I don't like it?
You want to hang out with us, you can totally do that too. Cool. Yeah, we've got one thing that people tell us is because it's Sons of Slambo, we're like, well, is it inclusive to others? Yes. So we have Slam Boys and Slam Girls.
Oh, okay.
So, and you can choose no matter what your gender is or how you view yourself. So
I can guess that.
yeah, no, we do. Yeah, it's all up to you, man.
That's pretty cool. Well, thank you so much, man. It's very opening. This is fun. I look forward to this all weekend.
Yeah, so we'll end on Sunday with our award ceremony and our raffle for Clarity Child Guidance Center. So we're hoping to raise a lot of money for the kids.
It officially starts tomorrow morning.
Yeah, officially tomorrow morning.
Cool. All right. Well, Dan, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your work, and if you guys are looking for an artist that can take photos that just make your brain melt, this is the guy. So don't wait, run.
Thank you. So, thank you, Dan, and I look forward to capture all this stuff.
Awesome.
Thanks, man.
Slambo, brother.
Slambo. Hey, so what'd you think? I hope you enjoyed that conversation as much as I did. It was definitely very interesting. It was very humbling, to see that it's not just about playing a game. They're actually out there to make a difference. So I really appreciate it. So thank you, Dan. Really, thank you for that. It meant a lot. So Slammy time. Slammy. So we're gonna start with the Kevin Rhodes Hobby Hero Award. So we have in 3rd place, we have Brian Faber from the Austin Weirknobs. So good job, Brian. In 2nd place, we have Christian Schelling, one of those two, Harambe's Heroes. Then from 1st place, from Austin Weirknobs, we have Matt Robish. Sorry. So anyway, 1st place, good job, Matt. Awesome. So now we move on to my favorite award, which was the Mighty Tom Ferris Painting Award. It's my favorite. Why? Well, because I got to photograph a lot of these armies, and let me tell you, I'm glad I wasn't a judge, because I would probably still be there trying to judge, because it's amazing what these guys do, what these people can do. Anyway, in third place, we have Chris Creech from Harambe's Heroes. Good job, Chris. In second place, we have Gavin Greigar, sorry, Harambe's Heroes. And in first place, we have an amazing person from the Sons of Slambo, and that is Nina Murney. You know, Nina, man, she had this Deepkin army that was just beautiful. I mean, you know, her basing, her just detail, I mean, everything. It's just, you know, amazing. So, I got pictures on Instagram of that, by the way, so feel free to go check it out. Now we want to the Sportsmanship Award, the David Bowman Sportsmanship Award. Now, third place, Jeremiah Gavlak, from Hangover Heroes. Woo, Hangover. Second place, Spencer Miller from the Austin Weirknobs. Good job, Spencer. And in first place from the Tough Crowd. So not only are they tough, they're apparently pretty humble. So Bud Keller. Good job, Bud. And then we move on to the overall Slammy. So, you know, these are the people that did overall the best. Third place, we have Randy Brasher from the Austin Weirknobs. Good job, Randy. Second place, we have Zachary Kennedy, Harambe's Heroes. Good job. And in first place, proving that the Tough Crowd people are pretty tough, apparently, you know, they were right. So we have Anthony Trentinelli. Good job, Anthony. So that's all the Slammies, folks, and that's pretty much about concludes the entire tournament. You know, it was a lot of fun. It was exhausting because, you know, I was up on my feet for a long time. But, you know, I'm gonna have, I'm gonna have all the information, all the links. I'm gonna have links to my Facebook page, to my Instagram on the information in the description, and go check it out. I already put a lot of photos on there. I still got a few to post on Instagram because I'm taking my time on those. I saved some of my favorites for Instagram, so that's exclusive. I also put a link to Clarity Guide Guidance, the charity that, you know, the tournament benefits, and, you know, so you can go. I'm sure they would appreciate. Go check them out. If you like the video, please give it a like. If you know, also make sure you subscribe, hit the bell icon so you know when the videos go live. And oh wait, one last thing this is how I'm gonna say goodbye with you guys. So there was one little event where somebody got to roll. I don't know how often this happens, but to me it was amazing, and I actually got to capture it. Somebody rolled 80 D6s. 80 D6s. That's insane. And he wiped out almost an entire little battalion army. You know, it was it was pretty funny. So, and it was fun to watch. But so I'll leave you guys with that, and on that note, see you next time. You rolling all that?
Yes. All right. So some 4-ups? Yeah. Yeah, those are on there. How many are in the unit? 20? No, 40. Yeah. Yeah, there's 40 in there, 20 in there. I mean, yeah, we're going to see. Might, maybe. I mean, they have a they do. Do you have any rents? It's portable, yeah. It's just. Oh shit! Never mind. We'll just say no. They have a war tank. All right. Do you have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 38. Oh no! Of course I rolled under average.
I was getting real scared because I thought you were going to make me break all this. But instead, would you put your fingers on those two?